Right, as promised, because we managed to somehow get the result against Greece, we're going to be doing this one instead as well. What's good? What's happening? What's popping? Hopefully everything is working as intended. I'll use all day and hopefully things are working and all that good jazz. We're going to be covering the Scotland and Belarus game. Figured we might as well. We'll also be covering the Denmark and Greece game for obvious reasons, because Group C is very much up in the air tonight, and with some certain results we could potentially guarantee ourselves at least a playoff spot tonight, which would be good for us. It's the absolute minimum that we can hope for. We've got the easier game of the two tonight. We're up against Belarus at home, so given the fact that we got a result against the Greeks, hopefully the results against the Belarus should be very much on the cards. Right then, Rab, nice to see you, mate. Likewise with you, Paul. Hope you are enjoying yourselves. Hope you are having a good enough time of things and a good enough week. It's definitely up in the air for what can happen in the other game, but for what's happening in this one, it should be relatively straightforward, to be honest. So that's going to be an interesting one, you know what I mean? Apparently they kick off afterwards as well, so actually I don't understand why they'd do that, but fair enough. I guess we're just covering the Scotland and Belarus one then, fair enough. I thought they would have played at the same time like last match day, but I guess not. Also, Flash's feed is lagging, I guess. Hold on, we'll try and connect again. There we go. That's smelling fine. We've got about 7 or so minutes until kick-off. How you doing, Flash? Nice to see you in chat as well. We've got some moderators in for this one. We'll pull up all the feeds and stuff. If you want a little look at the lineups and shit before we get rolling, you're more than welcome to do so. This will be the team here. There's a couple of changes from the last match day, a couple of key ones that you might want to keep an eye on, are of course in the midfield and mostly in the centre back areas, because there's no Hanley and there's no Suter. They've been replaced by Hendry and McKenna, which is a pretty respectable kind of switch. I think that kind of makes sense. Robertson and Ralston start. Obviously Hickey's kind of injury put him out of the Scotland lineup. I think it was Mulligan that came in for him, so Ralston starts ahead of him. And of course that midfield, most people would have made the case that you could have started Miller or Mulligan, but instead we've gone with McLean, which is okay I guess, but realistically you should be using youngsters in games like this. And of course Gilmore starting on that other side. Of course McTominay playing central and attacking midfield, and of course McGinn and Doak playing on the wings either side, with Adams starting up front. Honestly, you would have made the case that Dykes or Bowie could have got a start in this match against Belarus, but I guess not. So that's what we're working with, that's what we're going with. You can see my prediction down below the recent events thing in the middle tab, but I think it's going to end 3-0 for us. I don't think we're going to go ham or ballistic and go 5 or 6. It would be nice if we could, but that expectation isn't exactly there for us to go and absolutely cantle them. Just a win would honestly do me more than fine. So as long as we can do that to some degree, I'll be honestly quite content. that's like the nicest way that I can summarise it. I think it's going to be a good game at the very least. Hopefully a game where we start fast, because like I said, with the scenario, if we beat Belarus, we're on 10 points, and of course if Denmark beat Greece later on, then there is a chance that we could automatically qualify for at least a playoff spot. It's not a guarantee that we'll chase down first, but it would put us in a good position. It'd basically be a 2-game shootout between us and Denmark, and keep in mind we play each other on the last day, so even if we get a point against Greece and then beat the Danes, there is that genuine chance we could qualify first. So it's still about being undefeated for the rest of the group. That's kind of the minimum for us. 14 points is that sweet spot that both Denmark and Scotland will be aware of. So that's what they'll both be kind of looking to chase down. And of course, like I said, with the kind of fact that they can knock the Greeks out early, Denmark won't want to really allow them into the race themselves either. So definitely opens it up. Anyway, Chris, nice to see you, mate. Game is on TV, but find yourself here as comms are much better. That's much appreciated, my guy. Very, very much appreciated. On the Scots, we love to see it, mate. I mean, it's should be the simpler game on paper, right? It's the easiest game of the group. We played them away, got the result in that one, so the way that I'm looking at it is it shouldn't be as complicated or hard as the game against Greece. But again, we know how these games tend to play out. They can be complicated and they can cause a lot of problems, especially if they play defensive. But like I said, we've got the quality, and good amounts of quality at that, so that's kind of the bare minimum you would hope to see face the day. We've got that advantage of playing McTominay further forward, like I said, and that's going to be a kind of key thing for us. especially if we're going to be pressing a lot. You'd imagine we'd have more of the ball possession wise too, so that gives us that small advantage when it comes to possession based stuff, because we did not have a lot of it against Greece. So getting against Belarus should be pretty straightforward. We'd probably expect to be in the 60 possession type territory, so we should get chances, and more importantly crucial ones and better ones than the ones that we got against Greece. So as long as our finishing is even half as good as it was against the Greeks, we should be quite comfortable in this game. But like I said, I don't want to, jinx anything, if that makes sense, because it's happened before. We've done the hard yards in national matches, and then we've gone ahead and then made massive mistakes and messed up against other much smaller opposition that have cost us tournament runs. So like I said, nothing's set in stone, but we're in good position to do some damage, and that's about as good as we can ask. Like I said, 10 points after 4 match days, I think most Scotland fans would have honestly have taken, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the bare minimum for us. That is absolutely all we can hope. I'm not sure how many people will be in to view this game, because realistically it's Belarus, but yeah, anyone that's in, you're much appreciated. Thank you for joining us. We're just singing out the national anthems now. I have to have everything muted. For those that are in the Discord, by the way, you can watch this alongside us. Obviously you won't be able to hear me because I'll be deafened, but you're more than welcome to watch it with our moderators and stuff, if you're in there anyway. Hey Dane, nice to see you, brother. On the Scotland, we'll love to see it. The passion is there today. I mean, you can hear it in fine voice. It's not exactly perfect pitch conditions for a game of football, but the weather's holding up nonetheless, and to be fair, doesn't really matter. If anyone remembers that game against Georgia, it can absolutely push it down. Does not matter, we play ball regardless. But we should read up the lineups just before we get underway. So we'll start with the home side, the boys that should get the job done tonight. It's Angus Gunn starting in between the sticks after his impressive performance against Greece. Ralston and Robertson start either side in the fallback territories, with the centre backs being switched up from Hanley and Suter to Hendry and McKenna respectively. Gilmore and McLean come into the team, and they'll hopefully do a respectable enough job there, with McTominay playing as a more pincered central attacking midfielder, but think of him more or less as a second striker for this game. Doak and McGinn start on either side of the flanks, not necessarily wingers, more central attacking forwards if you want to think about it like that, but they will stick out in the wings and help Ralston and Robertson on overlaps where they can. And it's no Dykes or Bowie, which is a slight surprise. It's going to be Shea Adams that holds his spot, but to be fair, he did score against Belarus the last time we played, so hopefully he can do something similar in this one. For Belarus, it's a very much changed side from the last time we faced them, but a couple of faces remain the same. We've got Lapoko starting in between the sticks, Abilene and Pigas playing in their irrespective fallback areas, let's say, but they'll kind of be a lot further packed in. It'll more or less be a back five, because that Ebong will drop in and cover it. But Martinovic and Parkomenko, they're the two centre backs for this one, with Masalevich and Piashenin playing on either side of the wings. Obviously Jablonski, and like I just mentioned, Ebon kind of playing as our CDM if you want to think about it like that. Of course, they've got Groenko and Burkowski starting as their front two, but like I said, expect them to drop in and help cover the space when Scotland has predominant amounts of the ball. If you want a little bit of a look at the substitute options that we have, like I said, most of them are youthful and very positive. Connor Barron's a definite shout that we could rely on. Lennon Miller, George Hurst, Mulligan, Bowie, Johnston. A lot of good young names that we can throw in there, but a couple of key older experienced players. If things get a little complicated, you've got players like Tierney and of course Grant Hanley as well. So it's definitely a comfortable side. We should get the job done. It would be the minimum. But nothing's set in stone with these matches, so hopefully a half decent performance. A hat trick for McTominay would do me very nicely. A hat trick for any of them would do me nicely. Just a goal would, as long as we win. But we're about to get underway on this screen, so let me just half decent performance is all we can ask. Belarus are going to get the ball rolling. We'll give us a little refresh once it is, and we should have a live score for you. There we are. We'll pull the stats up so you can see that too. You should be able to follow along with us now. Belarus are already trying to go forward with it, which is more than pretty much what they did the entire away match. But again, Scotland will probably just allow them to have a little bit of possession at the start and give them that little bit of hope. Hampden's pretty much packed out for this match, which is as good as you can really ask for the coach and the players in terms of turnout. Got to give Steve Clarke his credit, he's been under a lot of pressure and scrutiny over the past few match days in the build up to the qualification for this tournament, but he started like a house on fire. He said 10 points from 4 games would be a very good result. Belarus have a chance to cross it in, they're going for it early here. It's flicked away by Robertson, still very dangerous on that far side. Try to get to the byline, takes a deflection off Robertson, and it's going to be a throw-in on that far side. A case in point, Belarus will start with the kind of slight pressure that you would expect them to have in this kind of stage of the game, but as long as Scotland can ride it out, it won't be too problematic. Decent off ball into the box, Belarus try and clear it away, shot gets cannoned in but deflected away comfortably enough. It's going to be too threatening and now there's a potential break on that far side. Doak doesn't really sort his feet out and just panics and passes it back in the end. Don't mind it too much. Hey then Alan, nice to see you brother, hope you're enjoying yourself. Come on Scotland, I love it, every comment saying come on Scotland, that's how you know. That should be a foul for us there. I was going to say it's a foul or a throw-in definitely, and again was brought down there. Give Belarus their credit, they've tried to make it close in the opening minute or two. Some pressure there, Adams will try and force it, clear away comfortably in the end by Parklemenko. Good feet and fairness as well. Ebon tries to slide it through, there's a quick pass out to the wing and they could go for a cross here. It's easily blocked in the end by Scotland. Again tries to shuffle away with it off of the kind of 50-50 challenge and it's going to be cleared out in the end. Another throw in for Belarus. Cleared back in the end comfortably and across to Martinovic. They might have to force the spread play here. Getting enough, switched across to their fallback and they might have to go all the way across. But they play it safe, go back to Martinovic. They've switched it across for Pigas. Ah, things you love to see, Alan, things you love to see. And then relatively okay. Health's holding up relatively fine. That's a decent pass actually for Belarus. They could do something with this if they can get it into the midfield, but they're being pressed very highly by Scotland and it's making it complicated. It's a good switch over. Ralston should win the pop-up, but the header is awkward and it could be a chance for Belarus to go down looking for a penalty. That's pretty much what Greece did most of their match too. Referee isn't interested, Hendry gets away with it. I mean, to be fair, it's not as if he had much to get away with, it was totally fine, but case in point, you've got to be switched on. A bit of a poor header for Ralston, should probably just check his header next time. Nonetheless, we move back towards Hendry. Switch the cross for McKenna, tries to find the quick pass in, and to be fair, it's very well passed. It's just going to be played back though. I don't get the point in doing that advanced pass and then just going straight back to sender, but not too bad. Hendry returns it from gun. Slight pressure there. Don't mind that too much. There's a good pass inside as well if we can move it. Really good pass out towards the wing. Gannon Doak. Back to Ralston, who goes backwards again. Fair enough, I suppose. It's not exactly the smartest thing we can be doing, but it's what we're doing nonetheless. Switched out far left. Robertson with a quick cross. It's awkward enough in terms of where it was put, but no one really was going to time the run to get onto that in any real aspect, to be fair. It's sent forward, and what a fucking pass it is. By the way, there's a chance Belarus get over the top of it. They're trying to force the issue. Takes a deflection and we should clear it away, and McLean does well enough there. Gannon Doak, good pass forward, and it's a lovely return ball in behind as well. There could be a chance for us if we can get the cross away here. Doak cuts inside, tries to go in between, doesn't necessarily work out, still dangerous. It's not the greatest touch from again inside the box, and they should clear it away. Pigas has it on that far side. Groimko, brilliant touch back in actually, to be fair. Played out towards that left hand side. Oh, good pass as well. They're trying their best to make it awkward. They go down trying to look for something again, but once again, referee isn't too interested in that one at all. So everyone's tip for the game, you're going 5-1 Scotland. It's a Probably bold prediction. I've kind of gone more comfortable. I think it's going to end 3-0, but honestly, Belarus are playing the better stuff in the opening 5 minutes. It's not too worrying. Not in the slightest, anyway. Good pass. It's going to be awkward for Doak to get through it. He's going to hack his man down there as well. Yep. You can see that coming a mile away. They did have 3 individual bodies on them. Jablonski made it difficult. That was very much true, Flash. That squad's probably one of the best things that you can do if you want to watch alongside the boys that are in here with us. Hey there, Michael, nice to see you, mate. You hope that he can make it through the playoff to make a miracle win. I mean, to be fair, they have had a respectable bounce back ever since that late win against Israel, that 5-4. No way, Belarus are not on side there, surely. They look a mile off. Referee's kept his flag down for now. It's played across and eventually cleared behind. The referee on the far side, the linesman I should say, isn't interested. He looked a mile off. Barkowski looked a fucking good distance off. I guess we'll see in the replay. Oh, he was actually onside. It was a poor time step back for Hendry. Just didn't time it right. I guess that's why it looked way more confusing than it was. And it was almost very similar to what Greece did for their first big chance in that last match as well. Kind of get it across the face of the box. Thought it was Portugal we're playing against. No, thankfully not, but that would be our under 21s. How you doing, Vinod? Nice to see you, mate. Come on, Scotland, any 1-0 type victory, please. Honestly, that's a half chance for Belarus. Gunn should claim that and does. Well done, big man. McGinn stayed down holding his ankle by the looks of it. There's a half chance for Belarus, nothing too threatening at the very least, but you've got to start making chances, ideally. Once you get to the 10-minute mark, you want to kind of go for that press. Been interesting to see how we do it. It's a lovely pass in behind. There's a run there. Robertson's going to run it through. Gets to that byline, goes for the potential quick cross. It's very well defended though. And in the end, that Paramenko gets it away. It's not the greatest touch, but Belarus should still retain a throw-in from it. Hey then, Kevin, nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well, hope you're in good health. Norway looking to be a very good... to be fair, yeah, they've been bottom half. There's been a lot of very big results in recent times. I mean, just in the last match, the Austria beat San Marino 10-0. Tell you what, but Belarus are really fucking going for this. They're genuinely trying to attack. It's a lovely ball out towards the wing. Ball into the box isn't too dangerous, but it's not cleared well. It's a deflected shot from Belarus and it's going to be a corner kick. I don't think any Scotsman would ever predict us to beat Portugal 5-0. Even if we played their youth team. It's a good block in the end, but I'll tell you what, Belarus have probably done more in this 10-minute stint than they did the entirety of their home match against us. The boys need to wake up a little bit, it's got to be said. Groenko swings it in, could be dangerous, headed up and away. It's going to be another corner kick in that far side by the looks of it. Henry does well enough, but still dangerous. And you just know somewhere close to that parking stadium in Denmark, the Greek national team will be watching this game very, very closely. And to be fair, so will the Danes. Let's see where this one goes. Swung in and dangerous. Header is pretty fucking decent as well. It's got to be said from that Zebelin. And thankfully for us, it sails over the bar. It was a really good header. He does well to get above his man. Can't really argue with the press. But Scotland just don't look like they're settling down. I've barely seen Shea Adams get a touch of the ball. This is not a good and heavy start. We need to do ourselves any favours against these lesser quality teams. Exactly, we have to go for it. Gotta go feed the cat and go for your granddad. Fair enough, Michael, fair enough. That's very kind of you as well, Alan. There's a good ball in behind here actually for Scotland. Maybe we can do something with it. Shea, have a shot, big man. He does have a shot. It's just whipped in on the near post. It's either the keeper got a hand on it or it was just wide. Guess we'll get a closer look at it. It was a good steal in the end. It was a great break forward. The ball was very well timed. Shea does well to get off the end of his man. And I'm pretty sure it did just about take a deflection on the inside of that shot. Gilmore's going to tee up to swing it in. Interesting approach from us. Maybe we get a awkward bounce around. It's cleared away comfortably in the end. By the Belarus shot stopper, and I think we should just go back to the keeper here. Yep, play it safe. Gunn will do the same and just return it to sender. Try and win the knock-on. Scotland do have a couple of physical bodies. We do win the first header actually, and it could be awkward. The lift over for Shea is not bad either if we can get there. Well kept in. Good hold up play. Robertson could go for an early cross, does try, but it takes a very poor deflection to be honest. Should have done a lot better with the original attempt to get on it. Ball in behind's dangerous. Could Scotland get something from this? It's another deflection, I think, and another corner kick. Jesus Christ. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Remember Alexander Kleb and do it actually. They were quite decent in the first decade or so of the millennium. Cheers for the commentary, mate. Hopefully we can at least get 3 here. I mean, that's the minimum. But to be fair, it's been a bit of a mixed start. We've grown into it a bit more over the last 2-3 minutes or so, but you'd have to say the first 10 minutes would have to go Belarus's way. Starting to show our teeth though. Gilmore. Not really a great corner, I'll be honest with you, but we could still maybe do something with it. But Belarus instead, brilliant control to keep on with it. Robertson will try and cover the run. But it's a good ball in behind, and thankfully Gunn's out to kind of slow the pace of Belarus's counter-attack down, but again, you've got to be a bit more switched on defensively there. Oh, what a touch that is though. Stellar stuff. Love to see that from again. We do end up going backwards in the end with it though, so fair enough. Hendry switch to Ralston. Goes for an interesting ball, and it's a good one too. Shea was teeing up to maybe go for an early shot because he's seen the keeper off his line, but opts to try and take it down and take his man on. He wins a throw-in in the end. It's probably not as good as he could have got from that. Good defence from Arnautovic in the end. It's a lovely touch for Adams to kind of set himself up, but he just got too far away from him to kind of take the quick shot. It's interesting to see where Ralston goes with this throw-in because he could potentially go long, go short instead. Him and Ganondorf are just trying to hold it up. Good pop into space, well taken by McTominay. Simple ball across, and we should just set up and go again from the back. Fair enough. McKenna to Robertson. Gilmore. Not a bad pass for you, Billy, either, to be honest with you. We still have it in a dangerous enough area. Gilmore again. Cuts it back for Robbo, switch the cross. Kind of half-assed whip cross for Robertson that time, but we should retain it. Great touch in fairness for McLean. Not a bad ball either. We've got away from our man. It's 1-0 Scotland, and it's a brilliant finish. Unless, oh, it's gone up for offside apparently. I'm not too sure. Oh, fucking hell, that's heartbreaking. He looked onside for that camera angle. I guess we'll see from the reverse if it's onside or not. I think Shea's reaction says it all. He doesn't seem too argumentative over it. But it was a lovely finish. The referee might check it. Let's see what happens. Is he onside or not? That's going to be the question. Oh, he's onside. He's on. He's on. He's onside. That, I think Regis on that Pegas, sorry, on the far side. He plays him onside. That's got to stand. That's going to be 1-0 Scotland. They have to review that, and I think they will be going to the monitor because he is onside. The fallback just about plays us on. That goal should stand. And we will continue the theme of the first shot on target being a goal. No way. This has to stand. He's clearly on. That's what I'm saying. It looked like it. You'd have to wait till you see the reverse angle, but he is. He's completely fine. Goal is given. The cheers around Hampden go are very much higher. It's a very deserved goal for Shea as well. Did it in the reverse fixture. It stands. Scotland are 1-0 to the good, and it's a great finish for Shea on the taking touch. Thank you, Pigus, on that far side for playing him on. Good stuff, big man. Striker's goal, that. Fantastic finish. We've got ourselves a lead. Got to give credit where it's due. That pass in for McLean was very clean. It's a lovely dig away. Absolutely brilliant from him. Like Hendry gets a lovely wee go into there. It's actually Hendry that sets it up. I didn't even realise that, my bad. Good shit. That's what we love to see, boys. We got ourselves a goal, and more importantly, an early one. Probably a good thing for us in some aspects, Kevin. You know what I mean? Belarus they've produced all right quality here and there. Like I said, I was speaking about it at the start of the game. That Martinovic I know very well because he plays for Kairat, and he obviously contributed heavily in Celtic getting knocked out of the Champions League because of how good he was defensively at times. So I'm aware of him. Same with that Groenko as well, ironically enough. Hey then, Robertson. It's been a while since I've seen you, mate. How about you? Another 4 and I'll be happy. Slightly gluttonish there, Alan, but fair enough, my guy. But it seems like we've woken up a lot more. The last kind of 10 minutes have definitely been more Scotland's territory than it has been Belarus's. Oh, I respect that for Ralston trying to keep it in, but it could be problematic. There's a chase down on that far side. Hendry puts the burners on, in fairness, actually. It was that far forward for the goal for Shea Adams. I genuinely thought it was McLean that played the ball in, but nope. I thought it was 23, not 13. Nonetheless, we've got the ball in possession again. Good enough in Cam passing. It's just about getting it into the right areas now. Let's see where we go with this one. Well played back. There is McLean now. Maybe a long switch incoming. It looks like he was teeing up. Cam, well played. Play it safe if you're under pressure there, have in doubt, I suppose. Everyone needs a dream. I'd imagine to some degree. It's kind of hard to say. I don't want to talk on something that I'm not 100% clued up about, to be honest with you. Like, I know there's a lot of shit that goes on just in the Balkan region in general. Eastern Europe's a tough place, but it's got great people though. There's a good chase down actually between Ralston and his man on the far side, but it should be retrieved. Gunn should get it from the pass back and does. It does the right thing actually, sending it forward. It could be dangerous. Not the greatest first touch. It's still awkward. Bounce around. Headers. 50-50 stand-in challenges. Apparently there's a foul for Belarus somewhere in there. I'm struggling to see where exactly, but nonetheless I think it's been given against Adams. He slightly appeals it. There's the review of that onside. Yeah, he's actually onside by a comfortable yard or two. But it seems like Scotland's game plan's pretty simple. It's kind of baiting Belarus into the kind of latter stages, final third of the pitch, and then breaking en masse. So in a way very similar to what we did against Greece, but in the sense that we're trying to kind of catch them cold. And to be fair, our goal was a perfect example of that, just keeping them sustained. Put some pressure on players and shit will happen. Had a lot more of the ball over the last 10 minutes. Had some chances, some much better from the kind of opening 10 minutes of the game. The arguments with it at all so far. Ralston plays it back. I'd like to see us go a bit more attacking at the very least, because again, you know that goal difference could be make or break for you in this type of group, so every goal kind of counts. You want to take advantage of it when you've got it. That's a great ball out wide for Gannon Doak, and as soon as I say that, we're actually trying to make a chance. Here we go. Great feat for the youngster to get into the space. I don't know if he was caught in two minds and tried to go for like a lifted cross in the slide tackle. Well, the kind of player for Belarus coming across to cover him. Not Zeb Ellen. Just kind of made him choose to try and take it a lot earlier than he would have liked. His reaction, again, isn't particularly great. Definitely seems like he got caught in two minds there. Simple enough pass into space. Good chase down. Belarus will send it forward. It's a decent enough header from Ebong actually. Give him credit where it's due for trying to retain it, but was always unlikely. It's a good pass in for McLean, and a really good layoff pass actually too. McTominay does well. He's been taken down there, but the referee isn't interested. Kind of half-hearted shouts from the Hamden crowd. That could be a potential foul as well, but the referee isn't interested in that either. Belarus break away. Groyko has it in the centre of the midfield. He could look for a shot or maybe a pass. Tries to find the pass out wide. It's a deflected one. Don't know what the fuck McLean's doing. You should do a lot better there, big man. Allows him to retain it. Zeblin back across to Martinovic. One twos between the Bong and Parkhamenko. I've actually forgotten how to pronounce his name. I should check that just to make sure that I'm saying it right. No, it's Parkhamenko. Okay. I thought I was saying it wrong. Decent ball in space, well intercepted. McTominay's under pressure and actually does fucking beautifully to retain it. Here's Gannon Doak. Oh, go on. Do a madness. Two brilliant pieces of play. Ball into space. Well taken and well touched again. Laid off. There could be a cross here. Gannon really is not the best crosser I've ever seen, I'll be honest. But that was nice. I can't say we've worked the poke off too much in between Belarus's sticks, but again, the one shot we've had in target we have scored, so not too bad. One of the Belarus players has stayed down. He's on his feet relatively quickly though, so fair enough. Hamden's still in fine voice. Ralston should have threw that to Doak when the space was there. Waits for McTominay instead. Ralston, quick cross. It's not too bad, but was easily going to be cleared away by Martinovic though. Basic defending. I think Ralston he's probably had more throw-ins than actual touches, I think. Any space. Flicked high. It's actually a very smart idea for Shea. Can't fault it too much. And once again, Ralston will pick up and set up for yet another throw-in. McTominay. Ralston pips it back for McLean. That's smart. Really smart for McLean. Just opens up the pitch a little. We put ourselves back into that same space. Eventually cleared forward. Into the easy control and possession of Belarus. So we'll go for a long switch themselves. It's a great first touch, but well dealt with. And Scotland can go on a break themselves. Belarus try to claim for a foul, but there was nothing wrong with it from McKenna. A bit of confusion between who goes for the ball there, but eventually McGinn decides to take it. And does a really good job of putting the pressure on. He'll force some form of issue, but very calm. Very calm for that Parkhomenko. Just takes like a loose touch and then controls it calmly out to the side. Eventually it's played back to their goalkeeper and he'll just send it long. Ralston kind of caddies it out, and once again he'll pick up the ball for a throw-in. I feel like I'll be saying that a lot. McLean. Switch the cross for McKenna. That's a poor giveaway for Ralston off the pass for Hendry though. Ball in. Oh, that's a very good leave actually. They might go from range and it's going to be sailing miles over. Milosevic had an opportunity there. He could have probably took an extra touch to be honest with you, but just wildly went for it. His manager doesn't seem too pleased. I do appreciate anyone that's in here for this match as well, by the way. I understand that it's not exactly the most enthralling or entertaining type of game, but it does have a lot of implications on Group C. So like I said, I figured I'd cover these until Scotland mathematically know where they are. If we'd lost against Greece, I would not be covering this game. So this is basically just bonus content. But any likes or subscriptions would be appreciated, and you can join the Discord as well, like I said, if you haven't yet. Good switch for Ralston. And good pass for McKenna. Probably about 65-70 yards out of those two passes combined. Very nice there. Another long switch might be coming. Not quite a long switch, but Ralston has it. There is the switch. It's side to side, but what a pass for Ralston. Robertson, beautiful touch. Lovely ball inside. It could be threatening still. Robertson tries to do the same thing again, and I think Belarus were a bit more switched on to that one. Parkhomenko clears. Groenko tries to win the battle against McLean and loses horribly. Coming off from us, so that's a wipeout. That's probably going to be a foul. If not an advantage at the very least, maybe a yellow card after the play ends. Ball sent forward, Dope, good first touch. Gets into the box, lovely ball into space. It could have been dangerous, but thankfully for Belarus and unluckily for us, it takes a very lucky bounce and Belarus can get it clear. Yeah, I mean, Dok's strength definitely isn't crossing. It's taking his man on, cutting inside. Can't pass in there, out towards Ralston again. He seems to be pushing further and further up the field. Robertson's more or less a winger now. Lovely interception for McKenna to stand in and get the opportunity away. Ball into spaces. Oh, that is a lovely fake out. McTominay can't capitalise on it, and we've just tripped the man up, so that will be a foul for Belarus. I kind of was half expecting that to happen as soon as it went into that space, but fair enough, not too horrible. So right idea, that little dummy run for Shea was great. It was just some really good defending again for that Sebelin. So far so good for this man, can't really complain about it whatsoever. It's another Belarus foul for fuck's sake. Referee will be having words. It's Perkowski that's gone down. McKenna the culprit. I don't know how bad it actually was, if he caught him in the face or what. Wait, oh fucking hell, he does actually, Jesus. It was almost very similar to that Tsimikas foul that against Ferguson, where it's like it doesn't look as bad on the original angle, and then you see it back and it's just kind of catches him with his hand. It's a sore one in the eye. Oof, you can see why he's kind of in a bit of pain. That's one of those stingers. Nice to see you, William Reid. Some very ironic name, god damn. Yes, we love to see it. How you doing, my guy? Hope you're well. Well, the good news is that he's sitting up, Bukowski, so he's not too injured. I think Adams is just saying in the kind of calm it down a bit, man. Well, showing that Adams finishing again, it's a lovely goal. Can't take anything away for the quality of the strike or the setup for it. The wee touch away was calm as fuck. Brilliant goal. Just a wee bit of quality, that's all that separated us in Belarus so far. And a little bit of luck with the fact that the VAR decided to actually intervene in our favour for once. They could have just let that go and keep it offside, but they did check it just to make sure, and thankfully we get the benefits of it. But again, when you consider the fact that we need at least a few goals, just for the sake of goal difference in case it is needed or necessary, 1 in half an hour isn't boding too well. You'd ideally want 2 or 3 more from this point if you're thinking from Scotland's perspective, but again, Belarus will make it as frustrating as possible. It's a good breakaway and a lovely piece of control for Ganondorf, still running. Still trying to run. He took on about half the Belarus players there. I can't actually be mad at that whatsoever. Very damn respectable attempt. Martinovic goes for the long ball, intercepted calmly by Robertson, and it's opened up like a can of worms for Scotland to maybe get a chance. Ball into space, ball across, it's a big opportunity. There's claims for a potential penalty because Adams has gone down holding his ankle now. Let's see what happens when the ball comes back into the box. It's interesting scenario-wise. I don't think there's going to be too much of a claim on that unless there's a stamp on the back of his heel, which it's just more or less a tangle of legs. I don't think that would be a penalty. It'd be very harsh if it was given, if I'm being 100% honest. It's head to head. Well, I'm thinking because if it's Denmark, we play out a 0-0 draw the first time round, and chances are we're not really going to get any more of a different result against them at home. Yeah, it was a very quick penalty check. There was not too much in it at all. It's different if he gets his heel stamped on, but just a tangle of legs at best. Still, I like the fact that they checked it just to be safe. It's just in case it's needed, to be honest with you, but yeah, I think when you look at it as a whole, ideally you want to, it shouldn't really come down to goal difference anyway. The hope would be that we'd beat Belarus, hopefully. If it happens, obviously Denmark beat Greece, guarantees us a playoff place, that's good enough. Then if we get a point away in Athens and then beat Denmark at home, then goal difference wouldn't matter. It's just in case obviously Greece get a point or something, and then you're kind of worried just in case. Because if they get a similar type of result against us in Athens, then yeah, they could get a good last day result against Belarus. It could fuck us over, so it's not 100% necessary. It's just good to have those extra goals there, if that makes sense. Well, that should be a foul, yeah. Just a wee pull on the shot there on McLean. No real arguments for the Belarus lads up. I respect it again, and he just tried to like ghost his way through his man. It was never going to work, but I do respect it. Calm enough ball into space. They're trying to play a bit too clever now, Belarus. You've more or less got 4 or 5 Scotland bodies trying to put the pressure on, and it's not the greatest whip away clearance, but somehow it gets past McLean, and even McLean puts his head up to the skies while he's running back to defend, because he knows if he got an interception there it would have been like a 6v3 break. But Belarus get the luck of the draw there on the bounce. Good play into space. So that's not really the best touch inside, to be honest with you. They're going to be forced backwards once again. I think from their perspective they'll be playing just to get into half time without too much pressure on them. If they can keep it all one, they'll still feel like they have a chance to get a point in this game, which Scotland do not want. So a second before half time would be ideal, because then you can maybe add 1 or 2 more in the second half and it's a bit more respectable looking as a scoreline. Because Belarus have had more of the chances. They've played the better football, it's hard to argue against that, but Belarus have had more of the chances, and that's going to be a problematic thing for us. Because it only takes one of them to hit the back of the net and then all of a sudden you're back to square one again, so having that second would just calm the nerves a wee bit. So a ball over the top, and Ralston was nowhere near it, so Dokas, they try and track back and cover it. Awkward, still awkward. Belarus are trying to find any route in to get a shot, but Scotland just have so many blue bodies in the way that it's really difficult for them to find any open lanes. They play it back to the defence, but they're pretty much on the halfway line and up now. Full crop press basically. It's another great pass into space, Jesus Christ. They go for range, it's not a bad effort as well, give them credit where it's due. Seems that a lot of their attacking momentum's coming off of that right hand side. It's a brilliant ball in by Martinovic. Laid off brilliantly by Groenko, and it was not a bad shot at all from the right mid. Tries to put some kind of bend and swerve on it, but it was always going to be bending and swerving up and over rather than kind of down and in. Unlucky for Belarus in that sense, but once again it's another shot that will be classified as not on target. Case in point though, Belarus are the ones that are making the opportunities with very little of the ball. You want to really be a bit more creative offensively. Played back into space. Got to step in on it. Doesn't choose to, so it allows Belarus to just open up the lanes a tiny wee bit more. McTominay steps back to help cover eventually. Good interception for our skipper as well, actually. Give him credit where it's due. Big deflection, there'll be a slight chase down. McGinn will at least make it awkward at the very least, but they'll just play it back to the goalkeeper most likely, and he'll send it into the orbital zone. Rejoin the Discord. There's a link in the description, or I'll leave at least the name of the Discord's down in the description. If not, if you scroll up, there is a moderator's note that you can just click on and join through that. It's totally free, you don't need to pay. There's no catch. Oh, yeah, well there you go. You just need to be subscribed. It's a good ball into the box. Don't know what the fuck Gavin Doak's doing there. It's like a kind of half committed to always try to get that header. Yep, Shannon's not too happy, but that's just a throw in for Belarus. It's on their own defensive half, so it's not too threatening whatsoever. Not the greatest throw in from Belarus though, they basically just gave it straight back to us. No too bad, 5 minutes left in this half, give or take. Well, we've got additional time on top of it. Can't argue with the standard of the performance, it's been okay. You would expect a bit more fight in the offensive creation front, but not so bad in that sense. There's another really kind of harsh foul. Jablonski might be going into the book for this, although he's just been won by the referee. That's 2 fouls. Next one he will be going into the book regardless. It was a bit of a sole one. Ralston does well to pass it into that space, and yeah, just kind of lunges in a bit. It's just for the fact that his studs are up. I don't even think it's necessarily for the contact on the foul, it's just the danger of it had caught him. Ralston's second half hat trick, imagine that, Kieran, that would be fantastic. I mean, to be fair, he had a really good substitute performance against Greece, and he's been okay here. He's not, been noteworthy, but he's not been bad, not by any means. There's a good switch into space. It's interesting, sent high and away. Not too many issues there at all. Switched back into the box, and it could have been good there. Headed up and clear in the end. Should just be retained by Ralston and will be. Calm enough ball back towards Angus Gunn. We'll be looking for any potential lanes on the offensive front. See if he can get like a loose knock on a header or something, and to be fair, good effort to do so. Nice play there. Good hold up for Adams as well. The switch is fucking excellent as well. Give him credit, that was brilliant. Doak, again, just crossing is not his strong suit whatsoever, but he does force it out from a Belarus defender to get another corner kick chance. There's a slight uproar from the boys in Hampden. Just make sure if you're watching in the Discord that you're keeping the stream up as well. Helps with the numbers and things. There's McGinn, potential cross and lane here. We might have to loop this. It's a lot of big fellas for Belarus. It is a looper. Case in point, though, Belarus still have the height to just kind of pop it up and away. Ralston doesn't take too many chances into that one, just flicks it up. Maybe tries to force a knock on. McTominay puts some pressure on. And it rolls all the way out. Not really sure why everyone stopped the way they did there, but nonetheless, I suppose. Oh, sent in space, that could have been dangerous. I don't know, is Gaz in chat? What's your opinion of the game so far, Gaz? Flash has popped in with his occasional thoughts and feelings on this one. What's your take? Good pass away for Ralston. Dangerous enough, well held up actually if we can get the ball moving, but McTominay's going to be under some form of pressure. He does well to kind of hold it up, digs it out for his feet. Brilliant touch for Doak, and now there could be a breakaway. Hampden's just all of a sudden got on their feet. Chance in the box now. Doak goes for goal instead, and it's well palmed away. Oh, it was a great breakaway. It was good stuff for McTominay because he was getting bodied and blocked up, but gets it into Doak, and it's a lovely touch for Gavin Doak as well because he spins in behind, gets away for his man. He could have tried to cut it back and into space for Adams maybe. There was 4 or 5 other Scottish bodies in that box, but opted to go for goal himself. It's an easy save in the end, to be honest with you. But a good shot and one on target as well, so at least it's something. McGinn's going to be the one to swing this one in. Straight in the hands of the keeper. Although he's made a massive mistake doing that. I don't know what the fuck had happened. Maybe it went out of play on the ball in, or there was a foul. I'm not too sure, but... I mean, Adams is the one getting pushed and pulled. I'm really not sure how the foul's on the keeper there when the keeper's the one trying to foul Adams. Fair enough though, referee, you're blind. Well, it looks like it's going to be a very okay first half. Not great, not bad. You know, opportunities here and there, but nothing too sustainable. We do have a goal, and it was a great goal as well from Shea Adams. Can't fault it in that sense. It's apparently another Belarus fault. Now, you want to give credit to Belarus. They'll try to keep the game close. Doesn't really bode well for us when every other team's managed to win by 5 or fucking 6, and we're sitting here barely convincingly winning by 1. It's only the 2 additional minutes of added time, and that's another ball into the box. Belarus could be in behind here, cleared away comfortably in the end by Scotland. Not been a great half performance wise. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will be in the same boat in that sense. It's what the fuck is that for a switch? Doak, stop trying to cross it, bro, it's not your strength. Jesus Christ, they really went for the long ball. Nearly worked out, give them credit where it's due, but it didn't in the end. Not really sure what to make of this. It's content enough. I'm not angry at the performance. I'm not enthralled by it. It's just very much like a, okay, yeah, I mean, we're doing what we need to do. Gilmore's stayed down there. It's not a great sign, but hopefully he gets back up on his feet soon enough. So Robertson kind of comes over and suggests that he does. He does get clipped, and it's a pretty heavy one at that, but maybe there's one last chance in this half, potentially. Ralston. Doak. Great feet again for the youngster. This is what I'm saying. Stop trying to cross it, mate. Just run at them. That's what you do best. Goes for goal. Big deflection, and it's awkward for the Belarus keeper, but he does well enough to keep it in play. A few kind of claps and cheers for the run. Seems to be all the offensive outlet there. Jesus Christ, that was a bit of a miscommunication. Last chance of the half will probably be from this Belarus throw-in. They might just go long with it. They actually go short. What the fuck? You really would have thought they would have teed up to go long and try and get like a, almost like a set piece of kind out of it. Instead they just play it safe. They could go for a long cross here though. That might be the plan. Instead they just try and go for the more dainty one. They go for an overhead kick. Jesus fucking Christ, I respect that. Not too much of a threat in the end at all, but that is half time. Grunko has the last half opportunity, if you want to call it that. It was never really going to be close to goal, but nonetheless, we got ourselves a lead, and it's something of note, I suppose. But I'm not really sure what to make of that. It's very mixed. We've been okay to some degree, very okay in that sense. I think we can take a few positives from that in the sense of the fact that, look, we've got ourselves a lead. The goal for Shea Adams was very nice. Defensively, we've been a lot more calm over the last 25-30 minutes. The opening 10 minutes, Belarus had 3 or 4 opportunities, so that should tell you that we've at least kind of tightened the ship up where we've had to. But again, it's chance creation for me. We want to see a bit more on that front. At least when we have had chances, they've been respectable, but Doak's last 2 to end that half weren't exactly too threatening. The one in the near post was probably the best opportunity that wasn't a goal, I would say. But not bad. You know, I'm not sitting here actively depressed over it or anything. It's pretty respectable, pretty good. It's just a case about what we actually have to do in the second half now, and that maybe might come in the form of some changes. I feel like McLean might be one of those changes. Get someone that's a bit more youthful on, or maybe even drop McGinn back at Christie on the left, something along those lines. But I don't think the Tottenham Army will be too displeased by that. Slightly more tense than you would probably like, but nonetheless, that's what's happening. We'll have a little look through some other games just in case. I'm not sure what other World Cup qualifiers are happening right now, but we'll look to see. Cyprus won their game earlier on against San Marino 4-0, if that's of any surprise to you. Obviously, 2 other games being played right now. The Netherlands are 3-0 up at half time against the Finnish, and of course Faroe Islands and Czechia are playing out a 0-0 draw. Which is interesting because with Croatia's 2 games in hand, it basically means 1-1 for them would guarantee them, well, pretty much guarantee them a spot in the top, well, the automatic player spot for them anyway. I'm not really sure what to make of this. Stat-wise, let's see, actually, let me just bring that back up. Yeah, they've had more chances. We've probably had better chances, but they've had more. Nearly 200 passes, 82% pass accuracy, or 88. That's probably mostly because of fucking Doak's crosses, I would imagine. Few good corner opportunities. Relatively clean game, no yellows or reds so far. Couple of fierce challenges here and there, but nothing too threatening. But more importantly, when you look at the table, here's how it stands. Like I said, it's not great in terms of performance levels, but it's good enough to give us 3 points, and 3 points would put us on 10. And like I said, after this game, if Demark obviously beat Greece, I thought that we were playing at the same time. That's why I said at the start we would be covering both of the games, but no, we will not be. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too surprised that we're winning. It's just a case that you'd want at least another one or two. Yes, we had someone join the. It's a good name, maybe Phil. Plus we're one subscriber away for 1730. So if anyone here would like to be that number, then hell yeah. I'm not really sure what to make of this. It's a decent enough half. That's probably the way I'd put it down. She's probably good enough to stay on the pitch, but I feel like, again, McLean would definitely be one of those changes that we should look at. Maybe honestly McGinn as well, just because we've not seen too much from him. And unless you're pushing him into the midfield and then pushing Christie out to the left or something like that, then there isn't honestly too much we can do. My hope is that we would have been 1 or 2, 3-0 up, and we could have just kind of went with the option of going, hey, you know, we can bring our youngsters on, give them some minutes, but I guess not. Sorry, I kind of got a little bit of a frog in my throat. Try to clear it. Well, they're just talking about the some of the opportunities though. I might as well see what's happening. What's good chat, what's good. How do you feel about the expanded World Cup cars? A lot easier to qualify now, which is good for the Scots, but now we have effectively another qualifying section within the actual World Cup. Yeah, I mean that's why the whole playoff thing exists, but it's more or less expanded so that teams feel like Oceania and that can have an extra 2 or 3 teams qualify. I mean, let's be honest, it's just so they can try and have 1 or 2 other bigger teams for South America in the tournament as well. That's why you've got fucking 5 automatic qualifying spots now instead of the 3 or 4 that they used to have. In Europe it's a bit different because it's now just like smaller groups, top automatically qualifies, and then, you know, there's a playoff system for any team that's in second, which again, we went through that system the last World Cup qualifiers and we fucked it against Ukraine. We would have beat Wales comfortably, but we just didn't really get the job done against Ukraine. I mean, at that time, obviously, the whole war thing was at its peak, so obviously UEFA were like, give them the win. But I don't necessarily mind the way we're playing. I think it's just, in this game specifically, you want that second goal. You want to be able to kind of calm the nerves down a little bit, and it would be nice to see. But, like I said, nothing's ever set in stone with these types of things. God damn it, man. What would you want for Denmark v Greece? Denmark or Greece win or draw? Denmark win. If Denmark win, we automatically get that playoff spot regardless. And the way that I would see it is they will probably beat Belarus, that's obvious, so they'll go to 13 points. But if we get a point against the Greeks, we'd be on 11, and it means on the last day, if we beat the Danes, we qualify. So it accounts for that, you know what I mean? And also, alternatively, if we just beat Greece, then yeah, it opens up the door for us to potentially, you know, same kind of scenario, but we don't need to beat Greece, we would just need a point away, realistically, and that would kill their chances 100% regardless. But yeah, ideally, Denmark winning, that'd be the best case scenario. I don't know why this is being fucking slow as it is. Jesus Christ. Just update that description just so it's not misguided in any way. Very solid in a lot of aspects, but yeah, if you're asking me personally, I don't. I'd rather Greece just lose tonight. It just saves a lot of hassle, because if they draw, they can still technically catch us, because if they beat us in Athens, then obviously we're going to be like, oh shit. And then if the Danes beat us and then they have the much easier game in Belarus in the last day, then, you know, it's going to be problematic, and we could fuck it in the last day just through that alone. And I'd rather not even have that scenario have a chance to fucking play out, because it would break me in half. So we can go back to the screen so we can, well, at least so I can read chat a little easier when it comes through. I do appreciate anyone that is in here as well. Like I said, I know this game's pretty easy access to watch if you're in Scotland, so anyone that is, you're very much appreciated. And we have just hit 1730 in terms of subscribers as well, so that's a vibe. Slowly but surely ticking our way up to the 1800s. Interesting. Kevin John Suter is a player I consider very poor, because in my opinion it only goes to show how good of a manager Steve Clark is. He gets a performance out of him more often than not. It's a toss up. Suter's one of those players that just works with the system, so it makes sense. He's not horribly bad to watch in that sense. He's just a classic, you know, kind of brick wall type of defender. And Clark tends to prefer that. I mean, you know that the standard two usually tends to be Suter and Hanley, and that's why, because they're more physical, they're a bit more kind of present, I guess, than McKenna and Hendry, because McKenna and Hendry are like the modern centre backs. They like to take the ball, they like to run, they like to take the risky long pass. That's not the kind of meta with Suter and Hanley. They're very much just pragmatic defenders. They put good challenges in sometimes, and that's it. Which works for Clark's systems and setups. Like I said, it's just, you know, about what he prefers, I guess. And to be fair, I mean, Clark's tactics haven't been miserably bad. It's just that even in games where, you know, we should be the better side, we're playing the same way. That's maybe the only concern that I've got. I'm like, we shouldn't be playing counter defensively against Belarus. It just doesn't make sense. We might be winning, but like I said, it only takes one of those awkward deflected shots for Belarus, or a random loose ball in the box, for them to get back into the game. And then if they do, does Scotland have the minerals to dig out another extra goal? That's why I'm like, if we go out into the second half, go for more offensively creative changes. I'm not saying that we have to switch the team around, but like I said, McGinn isn't necessarily a natural left winger, so fucking put him into the centre piece, take McLean off, and then put Christie or something on the wing. If you're of age to remember Craig Brown as Scotland boss, nah, chief, I'm in my like mid-20s, or like approaching my mid-20s. And growing up for me, it was who was it? You know, it was basically fucking your Starkins and shit, basically. At least the ones I can remember. But that's why this World Cup qualifying tournament means so much to me, because I've never seen us play at a World Cup, and we have an opportunity to do so here, and that's why it's nice to see us actually getting results, because I'm so used to seeing, you know, we trip up, fall over, deck it, whatever it is, you know, capitulate, blow up, all the words that kind of summarise just how shite we can be sometimes when it comes to the final stages of a competition. That's why I want to get this qualification done and out of the way, because if we get the playoffs, it's still way better than what most of us would have thought when we were drawn into this group. We knew the Greeks were very good because they hammered us 3-0 the last time we played them, and we barely looked convincing when we got the 1-0 win against them in Athens. So from that we thought the Greeks are going to counter us. Denmark is Denmark. They're a very strong, solid side that over the last few tournaments have been consistently there. They were literally semi-finalists in the last Euros, so that tells you how good of a side they are, and they're only getting better. And of course Belarus, sadly they're just not that effective, and they were always going to be the whipping boys. 7-0 Belarus win. I love the enthusiasm, but unfortunately they can't strike off another goal. It's 1-0 Scotland as it is right now. 3-0 Well, that's my prediction. For Scotland though, not for Belarus sadly. I mean, I'll give Belarus a credit though, Jav. They have played very decent. They've had some half decent opportunities, some of their passing, especially from their centre backs, that Martinovic and fucking Apomenenko. They both played really good. Like, there's that guy on the right as well. Yeah, Amarasevic. He's done pretty decent. Can't really argue with the way he's played. Groenkel's had one or decent opportunities. Can't really say they've had bad performances across the board. I mean, I can't say too much on your goalkeeper just because he's not had too much to face, and again, you know, at the end of the day, he's conceded a goal, so that's probably the only player that I can't really 100% definitively be like he's, you know, a 5 or a 6 out of 10, just because you can't really judge a goalkeeper on too much in that sense. But yeah, it's pretty much the same for us across the board. No one's playing at anything higher than a 6 or a 7. We're just playing okay enough. Possession football but boring. You're not honestly wrong, Fernley, but I think it's, again, like, from Clark's perspective, the 3 points is all that matters. Doesn't matter if it's a scrappy 1-0 win or if it's a convincing 5-0 drubbing. It's for him, it's about keeping the players fit, making sure that there's, you know, players getting minutes, and hopefully in the second half there's a few more kind of, like I said, creative changes that shows there's some intent. Like I said, I wasn't expecting us to go and win this game by 5 or 6 like we've seen other teams do, but I was expecting us to kind of at least start with a bit more oomph about us. The first 10 minutes were basically all Belarus. They had 4 or 5 shots in that time. We've kind of kept them more quiet over the course of the second half, but it's still sort of problematic here and there. But the second half will be getting underway relatively soon, so hopefully there's a half decent performance to be had out of our attackers. We can maybe grab an extra goal or 2, and that will do me, honestly, like I said, because it just puts the pressure on Greece and Denmark. And even if there is a draw between those two, it is what it is. I just don't want to see Greece win, because it would complicate things very much so for us. The second half's about to get started, so but every team now is possession football with no end product. Trust me, as someone that supports Celtic fucking football club, I understand that very much so. The side-to-side shit's always boring as hell, but that's just the meta of the game nowadays. It's like football in the 90s was more or less the long ball or the long throw. Like, certain metas work for certain time periods, and right now, in the kind of, you know, the decade of the 2020s, it seems to be the kind of possession-based counter-attacking type football. I just want to see us have a bit more of a creative directness to us. Belarus are trying to go forward immediately there. There's half claims for a foul, but the referee isn't interested. Robertson, good pass forward. McGinn cuts it back inside. Now there's a run on McTominay. It's not the greatest pass, but it does deflect the way of Robertson, and he'll pick it up for a throw-in. Quickly taken. Well held up by McGinn, actually. Beautiful stuff. I tried to pip it through for Adams, and to be fair, the keeper's panicked. Ball across, it could be potentially dangerous. It's well held up by McTominay. Robertson has it though. Switched the cross to Jonathan McGinn. Could be a shot for range. There is a half shot, I guess, from McLean. At least he's tried to go for goal there. It's like, I mean, Shea just kind of checked his run. He still did well to get the pass away. It was a good step-in block from Martinovic though. And it kind of gets passed back to McLean, who just kind of has a half crack for range. It was not going to be too threatening. Belarus will just try to look for fouls basically every time now. Jesus Christ. Robertson. Played out wide, well gathered actually. I think we made 1 or 2 changes, I'm not honestly too sure. Oh, there's another shot for range. It's well saved. Jesus Christ, all the way for a half second. McTominay had a crack from distance. It didn't go in. We've definitely not changed their shape, but McGinn's playing a lot more central. That's what I've noticed immediately. It was a good hit for range for McTominay. It was just, again, very similar in the sense that it was straight at the goalkeeper. But 2 shots inside 2 minutes is a good positive note from us. It shows a bit more creative directness from us. That's all we were really asking to see. Switched high and wide. Good fucking header for Zebulon, in fairness though. Takes no chances with it, gets it out to the side, throwing for us. I just realised I should put the little stats thing back up, that's my bad, sorry. Nice, I like that step in. Good play down that flank. Side to side in it. Gilmore asking for it in the middle. Big deflected pass, but it's out for another throw in for us. Oh, I love that throw in. That is beautiful. What was the pass though? Oh, the throw in was beautiful into Gilmore, but I just don't think he really did the correct call with the pass. Chance for us to do something from the set piece though. McGinn's going to be there to swing it. Most of the bodies are at the back post, so expect this to be a looper. Which it is, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, no real pressure. Belarus try to break in quick. Long punt. Awkward bounce. Belarus try to hold it up. Good body blocking for Scotland that. And Belarus realise that the physical game might not be a battle they can necessarily win convincingly. Last time a Scotland player got you off your feet was a Ketchianya. He did a good job for striking. Good for he was for a team that lacked a bit of flair. He terrorised Germany and Dortmund. He had 1 or 2 alright games. He was just inconsistent. I feel like a lot of Scotland players during Strachan's stint in charge could pretty much fall under that bracket. Not the greatest clearance for gun there. Just misfires, so to speak, and punts out on the far side, throw in for Belarus. Just inside our half. They try to go long with the throw. Celtic, fuck's sake, Scotland win the first knock on. Celtic man that does it, I should say. There we go, got there in the end. Good press for Robertson to try and put some pressure on there. Apparently that's a foul. McKenna doesn't look too happy, but again, maybe there was just an extra pull of the shot that you didn't see in the replay. Yep, there is the shot pull. There's always one. Just what you wait and see. Yes. Polkamenko, very decent. Return to sender, they might go long with this one by the looks of it. There is that long pass. Cut out by Robertson for the millionth time. Good taking touch. Adams, maybe not the pass you should have picked, mate, but nonetheless Scotland will try and keep sustained pressure with the press on. Good spin away from them though, and they could potentially break down that far side. Piachen's looking for it, but no, he does eventually get it there. Low cross, not too threatening, cleared away by Hendrick. Another cross potentially coming in. They go central, try and force the issue. McTominay has just been decked there. Not be a foul for Scotland. Good bait and switch for McTominay there. Just kind of gets in front of his man, buys the foul. It's just kind of a loose swing from Groenko, catches the back of McTominay. It's definitely a foul. Hopefully both fit Scotland get there, but it's a World Cup likely to be Tierney and Robertson's swan song. If so, how big of a blow would that be? Not too dramatically bad. I mean, Tierney's still young. He's still only like 27, 28. Robertson maybe has a Euros left in him. But we do have a lot of good future generational players. You know, you've got Colby Donovan that can play on either side. Obviously players like Josh Deutsch and that as well that can still come through and do a half decent job. And obviously Tierney would be probably our predominant left back after Robertson retires internationally. Oh, great feet. Got to give Ganondorf's credit, man. His dribbling is incredible at times. It's a good ball for Robertson, actually, and a lovely threaded pass back through to him again. The cross is mixed at best. It's just going to be half swung back in by Doak on a kind of dime, maybe try to find anything, but can't quite get there. There's a shot for range for Gilmore. He's always going to be sailing though. Similar to the shot that Belarus had at the start of the half, or right at the end I should say. The first, it was pretty much actually almost identical. Kind of a weird clearance for one of the defenders, kind of great touchdown, step in, hit it as hard as you can, but it was always, again, wasn't going to dip in and down, it was always going to sail high and over. I don't mind it though, at least we're having chances. Try to force the issue where we can. It's nice to see a lot more effective. In 8 minutes we've had as many shots as we did in the entirety of the first. A step in the right direction at the very least, but we need to get going. We need to probably get that second at some point in the next 10-15 minutes, because you don't want to get to the 80th minute mark and Belarus still feel like they can get something from this game. It's a good overlay chance. Here's McGinn, shoots, it's well saved. Very well saved for the Belarus shot stopper. Now they can potentially break themselves. It was a lovely sweeping counter attack for Scotland. It just doesn't work out. Long ball sent forward. There'll be a chase down on that far side. Robertson should win it. Lays it back on a pass for McGinn, who doesn't really collect it well, but does brilliantly to hold it up physically. Good shift from McGinn there. Plays out towards Gilmore. Slight pressure. Just lays it back for his skipper in the end. A lot more of an attacking threat from us, and it's because we've dropped McTominay in a bit more. It's not allowing Belarus's midfield to step out as much, so can't complain in that aspect. Switch back to gun. McKenna. What are you going with that one, big man? I was going to say, eventually just lays it short. Ralston kind of caught in two minds. Picks the right call in the end though. Switched out and across. Good run potentially on here. McKenna could go for the long pass, and it's a great one at that. Robertson. Equally good pass in towards centre space. McGinn lays it off. McTominay's there if he's... Whoa, there's a fucking advantage at the very least, but nonetheless Scotland will go for the... What the fuck is that? Ganondorf, man, he cannot cross. Like when he goes for individual runs and dribbles, absolutely fantastic, but when it comes to crossing it in any capacity, just not that good. It's showing that McGinn chance again, I think. Because it was a great counter-attack, man. Good save for the Belarus keeper, game credit. Looks like there's going to be some changes. It's going to be their fullback that comes out. Right back Pigas is off. Melenchenko is on. Although in the back of the shot it says Melenchenko, so I'm not sure what his actual name is. We'll go by UEFA's official records and it's going to be Melenchenko. Ball forward. Potentially dangerous for them here. I do like the idea of that cross. Switch forward. Maybe a foul. There's a two-handed push in the back there, referee. Hamden will be rocking for the last game against Demark. The fans will get us over the line and we're off to the World Cup. That's the optimistic way to look at it, Alan. Good stuff, my guy. We need to be a bit more better performance-wise than this. It's got to be said. Has there been any changes in the second half? No, there hasn't been any changes, just I guess positional. Oh fucking hell, Gunn's done really well to keep that in play as well. Would you be open the idea of Clark itself? No. Straight up, no. We already play stale defensive side to side football. I don't need to see it times two. Respectfully, just not the greatest call. My should's always been someone like a Knutson. Go for Scotland here. Let's see where we go with this one. Backwards at first, not exactly ideal, but nonetheless, we have started the second half a lot better than probably we played the entirety of the first. You feel like it's not a case of if, but when the second goal's coming along. Shea will make it awkward. He does make it awkward, still has it. Don't know what the play. What the fuck's this defender doing? How the hell are they getting away with that then? There's claims for a penalty. The referee might have to check it because it looked very fucked up. It stayed on the ground pure hassling Adams. Is a case of does he try and tangle himself? Let's see. He's trying to hold his fucking leg there, man. Then cuts across and does it again 2 different times. Let's get a better view here. Let's see what actually goes down. Definitely grabs at his leg there. And then tries to like go between these. Like, what the fuck is he doing? We might have a penalty kick here, and it's going to be one of the weirdest penalty kicks we've ever gotten. He tries to like crawl between Adams' legs to header the ball, and obviously Adams gets taken down because of it. It's a very awkward one, but I think it might be given for the original grab when he goes down, because he does genuinely wrap himself around Shea's leg the first time. That's interesting, honestly. I feel like Martinovic might have just put some unneeded pressure on his teammates. You have to go and look at this, ref. Because he wraps himself around Adam's legs and then he tries to crawl between it. Like, there is no necessary need to even try that. It's such a goofball foul to give away. Like, if that's outside the box, it's a definite free kick and a yellow card type scenario, but because it's inside the box, the referee probably has to be 100% sure. He's going to take a look at the monitor. Yep, and if you get to go over to the monitor, chances are you're probably going to give it. He's going to take a closer look. It will see, for me, it's the first thing, because I know Adams gets away from him, but it's the fact that he wraps himself around his leg. I think that's what the foul might be given for, rather than him trying to bobble in between his... Yeah, that's what they're looking at. Because he wraps himself around his leg and then tries to get in his way. It just doesn't look very convincing from him. Interesting. For damn sure. But now they'll try to check to see if there's a potential foul on Adams or Martinelli. This is interesting. I'm honestly not sure what the call would be from the referee here. Apparently it comes off Adams' arm. Okay. He's explaining the situation to Robertson. I'm not sure if it will stand or not. The infamous 4-6. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, don't even... Foul's been given the other way. Belarus get away with one there, to be honest. It apparently comes off of Adam's arm. Maybe it's similar to any actuals where there was a graze that just gets given for no reason. First podcast that you ever seen smoke. That, I mean, to be fair, they're just roll-ups, so it's not as if it's too offenseful in that sense. There's people that vape all the time. There's a few streamers that I know that vape on stream and stuff like that, but... Oh, could be awkward. Switch to this side. It's ironic because I can't actually smoke cigarettes on stream. And smoke Rolex fine. Sorry if it does offend you. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's why this stream's well, these streams tend to be like age restricted mostly. It doesn't really get recommended to kids. Belarus have a chance. It's one apiece. Shit defending. Belarus get their equaliser. Case in point, you need to be switched on. One simple ball through and it's in the back of the net. It's equal. That's fucking dumb. Such a poor goal to give away as well. Robertson's complaining to the referee and apparently he might be going into the book. I'm not too sure if there's any check that might be on. It doesn't look like there should be. It might be for the foul there. They might check for the foul there. I'm not honestly too sure, but the rest of the attack was so preventable. It's such a poor goal to give away, man. It'll be a check to see if McTominay gets... I don't think that will be on it. I think that goal will stand. And despite all the good pressure in the start of this half, it's one chance for Belarus that gets on the other end and they've scored. And like I said, this is what happens whenever we have a chance to do something decent. We panic and can't take it. Now we need to score. It's not a case of we have to. They will check this, but I'm not too sure, honestly. He's going over to the monitor to look at something. It will probably be for that foul on McTominay. Let's have a look. Honestly, yeah, to be fair, from that angle, he does lean into him. It looks a lot worse for that angle than it did in real time. He does catch him. So let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting if they disallow it. Goal has been disallowed. Oh my god. We got away with it. Fair enough, referee. At least he's been consistent across the board. McTominay was fouled on the build-up and it's been disallowed for that reason. There was an elbow through the back of McTominay on the way down on the foul. I'm pretty sure that's what it's been given for. Was it the man earlier? So, nah, he's not on the pitch. We've been very much let off with one there. But we need to wake up now, and this is what I'm saying, we need the second, because one goal is not enough. One simple counter-attack like that and you can get fucked over. That should be the absolute wake-up call of a lifetime for Scotland. You're not going to get too many other chances after that. And more importantly, it will give Belarus the belief that they can score against us, so they have to fucking go now. We can't be missing chances. But Belarus try to swing their way through it. Fair enough for him trying to get the ball anyway. Jesus Christ, that's a late challenge. It's definitely going to be a foul. Massive let off indeed, Adam. Does go through his man there, 100%. By the way, yeah, catches him late. Strange times, man. This would probably be the time where you get Lyndon Dykes on. I don't think we'll be seeing any of the youngsters unless it's absolutely necessary. That's a good wee header on for McTominay. Could be a chance if Adams can get his feet sorted. There's another kind of lackadaisical pass into the box, but Scotland still retain it, thrown on the far side. Nice to see you, Mikey. Come on, the Scots indeed. He's got to get that second, lads. Good feet there if he can get the ball away. Well, he can't really, but it's deflected out for a corner. You're English and support any other nation than England. I mean, fair enough, my guy. What part of England are you from? Like fucking Liverpool and Newcastle then? That's the only self-explanatory reason I could think of. Because Shannon's gone into the book, yellow card. Corner kick for us to maybe get something here. Don't play it in towards the 6-yard box, McGinn. Try and be on an outswing or loop it out towards, not in, out. You want it to hang in the air a wee bit. Get McTominay or something on the end of it for a knockdown. It is kind of like that, but again, just swings in towards the 6-yard box at the end of it. Robertson does well to get his foot in the first pass. That's a lovely ball back into space. If Robertson was about 2-3 years younger, he could have maybe chased that in behind, but very unlikely from that position in modern times. Good ball forward from Belarus. They'll be looking to chase it in behind themselves. Good steal there. If Adams gets there, brilliant fucking interception. Good hustling between him and McTominay. Great pass by Adams. McTominay. Big deflection. It's gone out for another corner kick, but that's a really good counter-attacking play between those two. Shea made the right call. Good ball into him. McTominay did the right thing, trying to get the low whip cross. Big deflection out on that side, and another opportunity for us to maybe get something from this. Looks like there is going to be some defensive changes. Suter and Tierney seem to be those calls. You'd imagine they would be like for like switches. Let's see where this one's going to get set in. Robertson's teeing up on the far side rather than McGinn this time, so there might be an outswinger. There it is. It's awkward and it could have been dangerous, but again, goes into that 6-yard box. McGinn, good pass back out towards our captain. Lovely overlapping pass. Here's Gannon Doak. Switched across. It's deflected and in. Is it offside? It might be. Adams again. It might get checked. We'll probably have to wait till we see the first replay. But it seems Adam was offside there. But then again, the referee thought the same the first time round. I guess we'll see the replay back. This one might be a bit more obvious. Oh, it comes off his arm. Flag went up pretty much immediately. Yeah. And Belarus, he's trying to get away with that. And there's a goal check for it in case it comes off of that part of his arm. It's above the sleeve line. But I'd be very surprised if this stands, to be honest with you, unless there's a different angle to look at. Because for the first angle, it looks like it comes off here. There might be another angle where it's more off his chest. I'm not too honestly sure. He's not offside though. I think that's what it was originally given for. The flag went up immediately as the ball was crossed in, but I think it might be disallowed. This is another VAR check. This is the third this fucking half. Who knows? I've seen them given and I've seen them disallowed. The referee is, yep, check over. Goal has been disallowed for the handball. Doesn't surprise me too much, to be honest with you. I don't even think it's like a handball, it's just that it comes off of that weird part. Very much redirects everyone. How you doing, kid? Nice to see you, lad. Pretty content. We just survived a massive scare if you missed it against Belarus. They did score, but it was disallowed for a foul. Ralston is off for Tierney, which is a pretty surprising change. And the other was a Suter for Hendry, I believe. Nice wee clearance on the side. Hey, nice to see you, mate. A random greeting from Denmark. How you doing, brother? Thank you, Shona, for joining us. Hope you're doing well, my guy. What's your thoughts? Obviously, you probably must be a lot more confident now that you're probably going to get first. But the Yankees are going to get the result against Greece tonight. We're backing yous massively. You've got a good amount of Scotland hoping that yous get the win for us tonight. We would rather have a guaranteed crack at the playoffs and have to beat yous on our own terms. Leave it in our hands for us if you can. I do like your country as well, so please don't let us down. All of the countries in this group I have respect for in their own way. Belarus are plucky. They hang in there. They do what they can. They make it interesting. Demark's a class country when it comes to just football in general, man. They've got some class players. Same can absolutely be said for Greece in their youth. And Scotland has such a good team mentality at times. It's a very interesting group, you know what I mean? I'd say Scotland and Denmark are going to be the two fighting out for first. Sent high and away. Let's see what that's always going to be bouncing over out. When I think that's a throw in for Belarus. I think it kind of curved around the throw-in line. Oh, it was offside too, so it was a handball and offside. It was disallowed for 2 reasons. Just confirming that there was a secondary reason for that one. Instead, I was watching it be a heads bouncing like Celtic Park in the huddle beating Rangers 2-0 in the Champions League final. Migraine then. Painkillers, dark light and a shit ton of warm fluids, my guy. Best thing you can do for yourself. Switch back and into space. Belarus will have to clear it and quick. And they do eventually get away. Headed onwards by that Malenchenko. Good taking touch, good control for Gilmore too, good stuff, wee man. McTominay gives it away, but good step in for McKenna. It's an awkward bounce away. Belarus will chase that down and probably just force it up the line if they can. Exactly what they do. Cannot watch any of this football hidden on commercial channels nowadays. I mean, most of these games, at least national ones, you can probably get easier access to it, but it's always club football for us. You need about like 20 different subscriptions to 20 different things. Best thing you can probably do, Kurt, is get yourself onto Discord. There's always different channels and, like, you know, servers that try and show most different versions of different types of games. I'm not sure how much they cover in terms of Danish matches, but you might try a look in there and find something. Used to have great wingers back in the day, they still technically do. So they've got a very good solid core. Their old guard's pretty interesting. Well, if you base it on the away match, I mean, that's the way that I'd look at it. Like, Denmark and Scotland are very similar in the sense that it's never about individualism. It's not about having 1 or 2 star players that do all the heavy lifting. It's a team performance. It's a team cohesive type thing. Belarus will try to get it back into the box here. Hold on. Scotland learn their mistakes and get away. That's a very good timed stand-in challenge. Belarus from range, big deflection. Gordon can't really get there, so corner kick for Belarus instead. Ebong had the crack the range. You're just in your room, take your towel and went to bed. You're just having your dinner. I hope you're alright, man. Genuinely, it sounds like you're not having the best of times. You're 15 minutes away from Scotland putting 3 very good points on the board. And I say very good because, honestly, we could have just got the one out of this so far. It's not set in stone and certainly not over at all. Belarus still have a chance to get something going here. Let's see where it switched. Could be high and wide for Belarus based on their setup. It is high and wide. Still very awkward. Robertson should retain it. Sends it as far out as he can, and it's not a bad ball. If there was a chase down there for Garandot, but it was never really likely to happen. That. Goalkeeper just lays off for their centre back, and long it will go again, most likely. No, they're trying to play conservative actually, interesting. They've slowed the plough down, Belarus, so they're trying to build their possession back up a little bit here and there. Scotland seem to be more than comfortable enough to allow it to happen, because they know that it's going to have to take one or two really good passes down the flanks to get into those spaces. It's probably why we took Ralston off and got Tierney on, just so we have someone with a bit of extra pace to chase down those odd runs. Awkward touch. Why wouldn't you step in there? Belarus go down. They're trying to look for something. Angus Gunn does well to keep it in play. Good hustling and hassling there for Sutter. How's your stomach and whatever? You're relatively fine, Chief. It's just squared to shit, I guess. I don't really know what else to add, my guy. Got a couple of weeks of rest and recovery left, but I'm getting movement back slowly. I can sort of half rotate now. Belarus get it into the space. That's interesting. Dangerous. Belarus have a crack there near post, and thankfully it's not too threatening in the end, but could have been a lot worse there if we didn't mark it. Apparently the Faroe Islands are winning. Interesting. Who are they winning against? Let's have a little gander, you know. Oh my god, they are against the Czech Republic. That is fucking interesting. Which means that Croatia are in very good position to potentially steal it. And to be fair, it actually opens it up for the Faroe Islands to potentially steal second for the Czechs. That would be fucking insane. I'd take that, get them into the playoffs, and then we play them. I'd be very happy. Well, we've still got 10 minutes to get through in this one first. Played out towards Robertson. As long as you're good for the screen in the league semi-final. That's if we win that match. Nothing's ever written in stone, Caden, but I should be in a bit of better condition to get a more valiant effort, I should say. 10 minutes flat basically left. Good step away there for Tierney. Take down there, that's going to be a foul. Let's try to claim that there should be a potential card brought out there. Tierney's not too happy with it at all. Oh, we really need that second goal, man. Referee 7 words with something. Oh, sort of loose giveaway. Belarus have made a massive mistake and it's opened up a chance for McGinn for range. He opts to leave it for the run on for Robertson. Whipped cross is okay, but Doak's not really going to be comfortably able to get onto that one. He's chased down to the corner flag and apparently it went out. Referee is coming over to have a word with Doak because Doak's lost it with the linesman. Didn't look like it went out of play, but I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Your stuff thing used to play for AGF when you lived in our house. Oh, very cool. You love when a Rangers manager leaves, I get sacked. You're not coming back, you've got no money. I don't think a Liverpool based man would be saying no money. You're lacking the finances, lad. The Scotland team is shot and Demark will destroy this team next month. Maybe. But I'm happy as long as we get a playoff spot. I would have took it at the start of the group. I was expecting Demark to win this fucking group by about 6 points. The fact we're still alive at all, I'd take it. How is Israel allowed to complete a disgrace? I don't know, it's dumb. But at least they're getting hammered. I know they lost 5-0 in the last match. Viva Italia. Norway as well, actually. No, I think it was Norway that beat them 5-0, but that fucking 4-3 game was insane. Oh, panic for Belarus there. It's going to be a throw-in for us, pretty much right in their, right outside their box in terms of territory, but Belarus are going to get their changes on. It's going to be that's a surprising change actually. Milicevic is out and Kuchko's on, so I guess we'll see what happens in that sense. And Gromko, who's actually been one of their best passers, is going to be coming off as well for Korjun, so that's it's basically the same level of performance in terms of chance creation. It's just the difference was in Greece we took our chances. There's a whip ball into the box, big awkward chance actually, could have been something though. Well left, McGinn's going to get there on the byline, big deflection, still has it though, it's dangerous, maybe a potential pass here if he can get it going, he does eventually, it's still, nobody's really getting anything cohesive on it, out towards Robertson. Is there a cross on? There is. Deflection, McTominay, it's game over now! Scott McTominay puts into the corner, and very similar to Shea Adams, it's a well taken, almost half volley shot towards the keeper's far left, and it bends in beautifully. From Belarus's perspective, that's not going to be too great for them at all, but it's a lovely finish for McTominay, and once again it's that man. Fucking decent. We've got our second. It's taken a bit of time and a lot more of it than we would have expected, but good play on that far side for McGinn. Stays on it after one or two really awkward bounce arounds. Does well to pick out his pass. It's not really the greatest control I've ever seen, but eventually when it's kind of whipped back in by Robertson, it's McTominay that's switched on the most. Just chests it, lets it bounce in front of him and hits it as hard as he can low. Brilliant fucking finish. The quality of play from Scotland this game has been less than ideal, but both goals have been very well taken. Belarus are on the counter-attack immediately though. They've got the ball into the box, and I tell you what, Suter might have had to have got a bit more than just a touch onto that there. He powers it over the bar. But Belarus try to respond in kind almost instantaneously. We do have our sexy hunkus, as CG Books just said, on the scoreboard though, and that's all that matters. Shea Adams, Scott McTominay, those are our two goal scorers. It's not done yet though, 5 minutes left. Belarus, corner, swung in. Near post, big deflection, could be dangerous, great fucking block. Lovely block. And that second goal gives us just that little bit of a safety net in case Belarus spring a surprise late. Don't know what the fuck's happening here. It's kind of awkward, whipped high and away. And eventually cleared behind. It basically means with the scenario as is, if Scotland hold on, 2-0's not too bad. It puts all the pressure on Greece when they play at the Parkin later on. Because if Denmark beat them, not only would it cement Denmark and Scotland's spot into the guaranteed playoff places, at least anyway, it would cement Greece to an early bath. But very similar to the last game against Belarus, it's not been the best convincing type of performance, but solid enough if we can hold on for a 2-0. A third would be fantastic. This could be a chance actually. There's a shot from range. It's just not really well struck at all for Gilmore. If he could have kept it a bit further down. Almost very similar to Northern Ireland's goal last night, if anyone watched that one. They're setting against Slovakia. It was very similar in that sense, where the keeper was miles off his line. If you just kind of soften the touch over him, maybe you get something a bit better out of it. Loose ball forward. Belarus actually might have a chance in behind. They might genuinely have a chance. It's so awkward. It's well left as well. If he got a touch on that, it could have spilled towards the goal. Wales and Scotland. It's Scotland and England's flags only show us black flags on live chat, so annoying. I mean, you say that, but I can see them fine. Like, Streamlabs does convert them into the right emojis. And we're very solid at the back with this logo up top. Aye, I'd say that's probably a good assessment. I mean, at the end of the day, it's another clean sheet for us. We've still only conceded once as of now. That's pointless to bring Lennon Miller in, but he has been brought in. For Billy Gilmore and Shea Adams will be coming off, I'd imagine, for either Hurst or Bowie. Could be Dykes for the Vibes though. And it is going to be Big London. Love to see it. Honestly, do not know anyone here for Gaz, or normally on here. He's literally sitting in the Discord with us now. I think he'll just be watching the game rather than the actual live stream. He could be in here, I'm honestly not too sure. Only a few minutes left of this one. Just ticked past 8.5 odd minutes here, basically. Now it officially has. Switch the cross. And so, with the last call for anyone that's in here, by the way, if you would like to subscribe or like the stream, help us stay in the algorithm, you're more than welcome to do so. It'd be very much appreciated. I'm not sure if he's on side there, but the flag stayed down for now. Chance for us to maybe get a third. Doak couldn't swing at it in time. It's still potentially dangerous. Retaining the ball comfortably enough, and eventually I guess the flag did go up for offside. It was very delayed for the linesman on that far side. Jesus Christ. Took a solid minute to get that one. And Belarus figure they might as well throw some bodies on for the sake of it. I think I'm back time to get these substitutions onto the pitch. It's only good for us, extra time. Fuck's sake, right, fair enough, my guy, fair enough. So Parkamenko's coming off, and Demchenko's coming on. And Cyprus has beaten San Marino 4-0. That's it, we're feeling how dare they do that to, bro. I know. Genuine strength and depth too, arguably not seen that since the 1970s. Potential for goals from all over the park. Tell you what, we could go for a few knockout rounds this time. I feel like we're in a much better position than the last World Cup qualifiers, because we're, you know, obviously in good stead in a lot of aspects. Like I said, it's that 1 goal conceded. Granted, we've not been too flashy on the goal scoring front, but we're picking up 1-2 goals a game on average, which is all you really need. Oh, Kieran Bowie is coming on. There's 8 additional minutes of added time. That's obvious with the VAR. But it looks like Bowie's going to finally get his big break. He's not going to have too many minutes to particularly do a lot of damage on. And he'll be forced to kind of play almost out of position on that right hand side, but fair enough. Oh, Gaz is he's genuinely in agreement with me, man. Come on, Greece, get a draw. No, Tom, you don't want that, mate. A draw would still keep Greece alive. You want them to lose, because if we draw against the Greeks in the next match day and then beat the Danes at home, we'd qualify. Doesn't matter what Demark do in their first game or their game against Belarus. It's literally just about us not losing to the Greeks. I'd much prefer to have it in our own hands, mate. Good play inside. Belarus are still trying, give them credit where it's due. They're trying to force the issue where they can, but this late in the game I know that they're probably cementing themselves to the fact that they're not going to get anything out of this. They might get a chance here though. Side step, shot, big deflection. It could have been awkward, but it's gone all the way out on the far side. Correction, Tom, on the Danes then, that's exactly it. We're supporting our boys in red and white tonight. I don't have any disrespect for Greece. I love Greece. I think they're a great country with great people and great players, but I would rather just have the guarantee that we have a playoff spot cemented tonight, because it means the last 2 matches we just need to win one and draw one. It's a weird bounce up again, but Gunn claims it. And we're talking about how good we are on certain aspects around the team. To be honest with you, it's just fucking impressive when you look at it from Denmark's perspective, because they haven't conceded a goal. Belarus have had a lot of chances this match, but I'd say out of like the 15 or so that they've had, maybe 5 of them were actually threatening. There's a chance for us to maybe get a third. There's a big deflection there. McTominay's just going to hold it up on the edge of the area. Good sidestep there. Lovely feet. Cross is decent. It's a big chance Bowie could have got there. He had an opportunity to get his third, but he just looped the header and the keeper had time to basically run onto the catch. Not a lot of time left in this one. It seems like it's definitely game over for this point. Regardless, the 3 points seem to be set in Scotland's favour. Come on, he's got 11 red cards to get the ball into your own net. Oh, what a clearance. Jesus Christ, that's like the epitome of a clearance. What's the Demark score? They play right after us, Chief. They play in about an hour. No fucking way, man. The Faroe Islands won against the Czechs. That is incredible. Good for them. I genuinely would love to see that. I hope they get into the playoffs. That'd be so good for that wee island, man. How many people live in the Faroe Islands? It's like less than fucking 60, 70,000 people, right? Pretty sure they're smaller than Iceland. Who are the potential countries we could get in the playoff? Basically anyone that's in second right now. I mean, across the board, off the top of my head, you've got teams like Slovakia who are currently second. You've got the Faroe, well technically right now the Czech Republic would still technically be second, but Faroe Islands are on the hunt to chase them down for that. Who are some other teams off the top of my head that I can think of? Italy might be in there too, because Norway seem to be set in qualifying, so Italy is the one you want to avoid for obvious reasons, and Faroe Islands is the one you probably want. And there's obviously, you know, a few more teams that are still up in there based on games played and stuff. How many more minutes left? As of now, just over, well, just under 3, I should say. Not a lot of time left whatsoever. Want the Greeks to draw tonight, and then, not ideally, because it's not straight through if we beat the Greeks. Like, that's not how it works. Because, again, same sin. Oh, Belarus have scored! This is why I'm saying that second goal really came in fucking use. I just turned around and they've got it into the back of the net. Belarus have their consolation goal. Scotland have switched up. It's a very awkward ball through the middle. I'll give them credit for that. It's just a poorly timed step in for a skipper. Robertson gets set a fucking dream there. The man gets away, puts it in between Gunn's legs. Basically, it's just, yeah, not the greatest step in for Robertson whatsoever at all. It just opens it up. Belarus has time to pick. Oh, it's a lovely finish. Can't take anything away from it. It's very well taken, but we cannot allow it to fucking slip for here, surely, man. It's Kuchko that scored. One of the man off the bench. Belarus do try to send it half forward and it goes high, thankfully. Scotland, what the fuck are you doing, lads? Not ideal at all. Just 54,000, case in point then. If they manage to put the Czechs to second spot, that'd be damn impressive. I don't think Clark will be too happy at that. It's just classic switching off material. See the Scotland fans starting to kind of funnel out. Just a minute or so left. Half decent header on, there's a potential chase down coming off. Switched forward, punted away by Suter. That's coming off, big man. 50 seconds left on my screen. Less than that now. Belarus have time to maybe get one last counter attack. Decent ball forward as well. It's dangerous enough. 20 odd seconds, 25 seconds now. This will be the last real chance for Belarus. Big deflection. Scotland will try and break with what we have. It's more or less a 2v2, 2v3 now. I think Scotland will just play to kind of slow the ball down, play it in towards the middle, and there could be a last overlap. Loose pass away once it goes out. Throw in for Scotland. The 8 minutes have been and gone. We're just on the referee's time now. That goal in additional time probably means it'll be an extra 30-40 seconds. Belarus have had more. Apparently, they just showed the stat count there. 21 fucking shots to our 12. Don't know what the fuck Bowie was doing there. The referee's really wrapping their pass and blow the whistle. Really try to give Belarus all the time of day. Like, blow the whistle, ref. We're now a minute over. We're 9 minutes past. Laid off down the flank. Robertson will have to chase it. Whipped in. Half dangerous at best. Cleared away. Referee should be blowing the whistle now. Still fucking hasn't. And eventually, a minute and 10 seconds after he set 8 additional minutes, which already seemed like a lot, the whistle is blown. We've survived a late scare and a very late one at that. Afi Kuch goes late. 96 minute, you know, chance, I guess, if you want to call it that, but we eventually did enough. McTominay's goal carries us through at the end of the day. It's not great for goal difference at all, but nonetheless, it's what we've got. What's your next game for comms? I'll kind of touch on that in a brief moment, Chris. I believe it would be either the Dundee or Sturm Graz game. I might cover the Dundee one if I'm up early enough. It's just I hate 12 PM kickoffs and I like to sleep in on the weekends. And if not, then it'll definitely be Sturm Graz. I'll pull them up for you just very shortly. Have you seen Scott Brown's perfect tackle against Feyenoord? Probably, most likely. We've done exactly what we needed to do though. There's your 2-1 result. 10 points on the board. That's kind of as good as we can ask. Took a little bit of luck, like I said. Belarus definitely played some good stuff. 22 shots, 3 on target, fuck's sake. One of them went in. That's respectable for them. They won't feel too hard done by. But it's hard to argue that we didn't play the better stuff on the front of it. All of our chances were quite intense. We had some good opportunities, some good saves for their goalkeeper. So you have to look at it like that. I'll just quickly pull that up for you, Chris, so you can see. I believe it would be on the 19th. Against Dundee, yeah. This because it's an early kick-off. I fucking hate early kick-offs with a passion. If I am live for the next one, it will definitely be that. Watching this in KT this season, I think we as a Celtic should look at moving him to a 6th position. He's not my bombing fullback anymore. His fitness is way down. True, but that just takes a bit of time, and they should get themselves back up to the standards that we know he's capable of. That's very much appreciated, Rob. Likewise with you, Adam. That's very, very kind, mate. Thank you. What a team. I mean, I wouldn't call them the greatest team on the planet tonight for sure. They did well enough, but we won, so I have to do a yes. I think that's, you know, it's legally binding at this point. I have to do it. So it won't be a loud one, because at the end of the day, it's not that convincing of a win. But we'll get a small round of applause because we did get the job done. So, gentlemen, for the victory and for the win. Yes. Good shit. That's good enough. Honestly, it's not worth a lion's roar. It's more or less like a fucking, you know, like a lion's growl, if anything. Like a, yeah, we did what we needed to do. Happy enough with that. Happy enough with that indeed. Solid enough. Well done, Scotland for Western Canada. Things you love to see, Celtic for life. This is good for us. But to be fair, you're not wrong. Usually we do fuck it against Belarus. It wouldn't have surprised me. That's why I said we need that second, because Belarus they could score one of those late type of goals. Yeah, as Flash just put in chat there, the last thing you know, I kind of touch on before we get things wrapped up here is if you want to join the Discord and you haven't yet, click that link. You can do so. It's totally free. What you really need is a Discord account, and that's basically it. But I feel like McTominay deserves man of the match for that one, to be honest. Just because he was the only player that was consistent throughout the whole match. Shea Adams for that finish as well. You can maybe make a case for that. You know what I mean? It's the first you've ever heard handing boot a team after a win. I think it was more just for the frustration of the fact that we needed to get 4 or 5 to make it like convincing that we could be threatened. Because the next game's Greece away, and if we play like that, we're going to get fucking hammered. It's straight up. But like I said, if Greece lose tonight, then it doesn't really matter, because if we lose to Greece, it's fine. If we get a point against Greece, then we have a chance to get the job done against Denmark. If we beat Denmark, regardless if they beat Belarus in their 5th match day, we can still pick them on 14 points to their 13. So it's still alive, it's still very much doable, but we need Greece to lose, ideally. Because then, even if we draw against them, it kind of keeps them away from us in that sense. So, best case scenario for us is that. That's all we can really hope for. That's very kind of you, Don. Very, very kind of you, Margaret. But yeah, I suppose that basically is everything. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. There isn't too much else left to really touch on. If you want to join us for the next match, like I said, if I'm live for it, it will be on the 19th of October. That will be about, 11:45. That'll be live for. I might just pull an all-nighter and do that match if I have to, honestly. If not, though, then the next game that I will cover, of course it doesn't fucking show it because it's dumb the way that it works, will be on the 23rd of October, where we play Sturm Graz in the Europa League, where we pretty much really need a win. Let's be honest, a win would be very good for us, so we'll definitely be live for that game now that we're back and getting a bit more of a permanent fixture. Like I said, it's still part-time this season, but I figure I would still cover a few more games for this month to make up for the ones I missed last. That's basically everything, so yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said. Thank you for watching, thank you for coming along, and as usual, Scotland are still the best national team on the world. Hopefully they get something going. On the just up with Danes, get the job done. Hopefully they can cement us a spot. That'd be very nice. But for now, catch you after, boys. It's been a pleasure. See you then. Maybe on the 19th, maybe on the 23rd. Who knows? But nonetheless, catch you.